بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ الحمد لله. Beloved brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, in our fiqh lessons, we are still in the arkan of salah. This is our third lesson for the arkan of salah. And previously we looked at the first six, alhamdulillah: Niyya, Takbiratul Ihram, Qiyam, Surah Fatiha, and Ruku'. Sorry, the first five, alhamdulillah. And now we continue, inshallah, and we're going to group a few together. So the Shaykh writes, and starting now with number 6, As-Sadis, At-Tuma'nina Fihi. السابع الاعتدال. الثامن الطمأنينة فيه. التاسع السجود مرتين. العاشر الطمأنينة فيه. الحادي عشر الجلوس بين السجدتين. الثاني عشر الطمأنينة فيه. So the Shaykh writes, and I've grouped a few. The Shaykh writes that the following are also of the arkan, of the pillars of salah. Number 6, now it's actually connected to the previous lesson. The previous one, number 5, we spoke about ruku', the position of ruku' being of the arkan, of the pillars. Now the Shaykh continues and he says, i'tidal, to remain motionless, to pause in that position, is of the arkan. Now this is really important if you have limited time for salah. So let's say waqt is about to disappear, or you are late, you overslept for fajr, and there's limited time. At bare minimum, you need to have i'tidal. You need to essentially be pausing for a moment. And we have the recitation of dhikr in the positions, ruku' and so forth. But the dhikr is not of the arkan, but remaining motionless is. And then coming up from ruku', right? So in our ruku', the ruku' itself, the bowing is a rukun, and then pausing in the bowing is a rukun. Now coming up from ruku', and this is really important, because sometimes we make a mistake, especially if we have kids or grandchildren. Let them make the salah in front of you, because kids have a habit of, picking like a chicken. They go through the motions. There's no pausing. Up from ruku', straight down into sajda. It's important that the pause occurs. The pausing is of the arkan. So coming up from ruku', that pausing for a moment, we say Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd. We recite the dhikr, but the pausing itself, that i'tidal, to remain motionless, is of the arkan. And then, of course, that's coming up from ruku', and then remaining motionless in the is another rukun. And then your 2 sajdas in each rak'ah, your 2 sajdas is of the arkan. And remaining motionless in the sajdas, so going down, there must be at least a moment of pausing. It can't be touching the ground and lifting immediately. It can't be this. Hence the older people used to say, make salah like a chicken, because you're picking. There's barely any pausing. So you have to remain motionless. And then the sitting in between the 2 sajdas, there must also be that position, and then remaining motionless in that position as well, the sitting between the 2 sajdas. So I will pause with number 12, so I'll repeat them. Remaining motionless in the ruku', coming up from ruku', your i'tidal, remaining motionless in that position. Then your 2 sajdas, remaining motionless within the sajda, the sitting between the two sajdas, and remaining motionless in that sitting. And then the Sheikh writes as well that it is wajib, now it is wajib that you have a niyyah to remain motionless in that position. So linked to the actual position is you must intend that I'm going to remain motionless. It shouldn't be by default that you're just going through an action. So when you pause in a position to pay due respect to the appropriate rukun, you must have the niyyah and the knowledge that in my ruku, when I'm bowing, when my head is on the ground, this position is required, this pausing is required, and my niyyah is to fulfill the wajib aspect of this position. So we close, inshallah, very short lesson, but we've covered a few positions. And I think the most important lesson, even for myself and for all of us, especially in moments when you are following the imam, it's easier because the positions are timed. The imam is controlling the salah. When you are performing your sunnah salah on your own, it is also under your control. But the moments when this fiqh is applied, it's when you have a very limited time. So you enter the masjid maybe, and you saw, okay, there's a minute or so, or 2 minutes to the salah, and now you want to make sunnahs. And then before you know it, you hear the iqamah being made. Now you want to speed up the remaining salah. So in that moment of speeding up, you can forget to pause, which takes away of the arkan. So the pausing must be there. You might not have enough time to recite even the dhikr, but the pausing is essential. That at least you paused in that position. So we close with that, inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam alayhi wa rabbil alameen. No questions. Alhamdulillah.